Hello, my name is Klinksiek. I'm a PhD student at NWoW, and I'm investigating the inclusion of people with disabilities in the new ways of working. So recently, we've witnessed some changes in organizations and in the ways people work. Specifically and especially after the COVID pandemic, organizations have started to adopt new ways of working. That is, a series of practices that aim at increasing flexibility and collaboration while reducing costs with facilities. So in the new ways of working, people no longer work in a cubicle from 9 to 5. But instead, employees are expected to organize their own schedules, choose whether they work at home or in the office, and when working in the office, they can choose where in the office they will work depending on the tasks that they have to accomplish. So for instance, they can work in open zones surrounded by colleagues, alone in soundproof rooms, or in spaces dedicated to encouraging creativity. However, we still don't know much about how these new ways of working can affect diversity and inclusion in organizations, especially for people with disabilities. Hence, in my thesis, I investigate how these new ways of working can interfere, for instance, in the capacity of employees with disabilities to coordinate their disability with their work activities, in the perceptions that organizational members have of people with disabilities, and in the accessibility of work, and in how disability is made visible or invisible in the organization. And of course, how all of these can contribute or not to a more inclusive workplace for people with disabilities. It is important to remember that disability results from the interaction between a person's impairment, such as deafness and blindness, and environmental factors that prevent their full participation in social life, such as negative attitudes and inaccessible spaces. Hence, by identifying environmental factors that disable people with impairments at work, we can find solutions to create a more inclusive workplace. Also, keep in mind that around 1.3 billion people around the globe have a disability, and that we are all likely to experience some kind of disability in the course of our lives. Disability is part of being human. Thus, creating a more disability-inclusive society should interest us all. If you are interested to know more about my research, feel free to contact me by email or on LinkedIn.